Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at the RSI Meteor and what my thoughts are on it to see if it's worth buying. Kind of been dragging my feet on getting this one done, so let's take a look. Just a quick TLDR if you want a quick overview on my thoughts. The Meteor is a combat-focused ship built off of the Mantis chassis, trading in the QED for a higher punching weapon package that brings some of its own issues that I'll talk about a little bit later. The dual size 5 cannons will be great later when armor penetration becomes more of a thing. However, there are other ships that are going to handle this a bit better in my opinion, such as the Guardian, since you at least have the option of choosing your guns. As of the current game state, we also have to keep in mind that ballistics struggle due to physical damage reduction being applied to ships. This will be getting a slight buff, however, in 4.3.1, since ballistic reduction is being changed from 50% to 38%. That may change again, but we'll see. At $260, this is definitely not a ship that I personally recommend, and one that I don't plan on keeping in my fleet. Let's jump into talking design. The ship is definitely RSI, and the interior brings in some of the feeling of the Zeus. When you look at it, it's clearly a Mantis that had the QED removed, and large guns slapped right on it. The Meteor also comes with a larger missile payload than the Mantis. The ship still maintains all the same components though of the Mantis, so the shields, the quantum drive, the coolers, etc., they're all the same. The weapons package includes 4 size 3 cannons that could be swapped out, as well as 2 size 5 bespoke cannons, and if you don't know this bespoke weapons, you can't change them. Stock, this brings you up to 3,351 DPS, which is great. However, you're usually not going to want to be firing both sets at the same time. The difference in weapon velocity is too great, making it so that the pips are too far apart when targeting. If you're able to get behind a larger ship that's slower, you could probably get both pips on target and fire away. One annoyance I did find with the size 5 cannons is they require you to click for each shot. So you won't be able to just hold the trigger down and shoot continuously. You'll have to release the trigger and press again to fire another shot. This issue will apply to both sticks and mouse. Another consideration is the bespoke cannons being ballistic. They are heavily impacted by the game's current physical damage reduction of 50%, which will soon be 38%. Granted, this is just current state and will likely change in the future again, especially with armor penetration. So at stock, you're getting 574 DPS from the 4 size 3s and 2,777 from the 2 size 5s. With 50% and soon to be 38% damage reduction, that takes the 2 size 5s down to 1,389 and 1,722 DPS respectively. Now you can swap out the size 3s to something more like attritions, and you can get the DPS up from 574 to 1,989, which is a significant increase, but this is further going to impact the projectile speed difference you have on the guns. In addition to the guns, you also get 4 size 2 missiles, as well as 4 size 4 missiles, totaling 25,406 in damage. When we look at the other specs of the ship, such as speed, maneuverability, health points, fuel, etc., there really isn't much that has changed here from the Mantis. There are a few areas where there are minor changes, but honestly, probably not enough to notice unless you're sitting and filing a claim at the ASOP terminal. At first glance, you might think this is a Mantis variant. However, CIG has come out and stated that the Meteor is a new ship based off of the Mantis chassis and therefore is not a variant. Unfortunately, that means that all the paints that are available for the Mantis will not work on the Meteor and vice versa. Currently, as of making this video, there are 4 paints available for the Meteor ranging from $7.50 to $11 USD. Let's go ahead and lay out the pros and cons here. For the pros, the Meteor has that really cool Mantis look that's been around for a long time. So if you like the look of the Mantis, you're gonna like how the Meteor looks. The guns on the ship sound great, especially those size 5 cannons, and I also love the animation when they're firing. The last pro I have here to list is the ship is fast. It's basically interceptor tuned and it goes just over 1,400 meters a second. The thing moves, it scoots. And then we get into the cons. This ship comes in at $110 more than the Mantis, sitting at $260. The ship is also squishy. It doesn't have much shielding. The whole HP just isn't up there, so you're gonna die quickly, usually. You can't use the Mantis paints on the ship, so you're limited to the 4 that are only available strictly for the Meteor. Bespoke guns. This is another big issue. You've got size 5 weapons, but you don't have that flexibility of choosing what size 5s you want. You have to use what come with the ship. There's nothing else you can do. Then on top of that, these also have the ballistic damage reduction applied to them currently, so you don't get the listed DPS on these weapons. And then another point here is the projectile speed difference between the size 3 and the size 5s. Since the speed difference is so great, your pips are so far apart that it's hard to get both of them lined up so all your shots are landing on your target. The cannons also require re-clicking for shots. So if you're firing all weapons and you're holding your mouse button down, the moment you want to fire cannons, you have to let go and click again. And you have to do that each and every time you want to fire the cannons. Now to summarize all this, in the end, it's a cool ship. It's just way too overpriced, and it has issues with bespoke weapons and having too much difference in the projectile velocities, while also being just a little too squishy. I would have liked to see a buff to the whole HP, or even some more shielding. Having 3,400 in shields and 30,000 in whole HP will not last you long in a fight. Even if you're going after larger ships that are slower, they can still have turrets or PDCs that are going to shred this ship in a matter of seconds. I get CIG wants to avoid having a monster out in the verse like we've had in the past, but this went another direction in my opinion. I truly hope that CIG takes another look and gives this thing some much needed buffs. This was a ship I was really excited for, but it ended up just being a major letdown for me. Now, do I recommend the ship? Absolutely not. It is a cool ship if anything, maybe rent one if that becomes an option, or borrow it from a friend. Beyond that, I wouldn't spend real money on it, and I wouldn't spend aUEC on a purchase either. I'd much rather have the Mantis, which feels like it's more useful since it can hang back in a group and hold ships from jumping it away, and it's almost $100 less. Maybe one day something will change with the ship, but these are just my thoughts on it for now. If you just want to buy it because of the rule of cool, yeah, it's a cool little ship and it's fast. Beyond that, it's not for me. I hope this video was helpful for you in some way. If you have any thoughts or opinions you have on the ship, please feel free to post them down in the comments and share them with me. I always love hearing what other people have to say on the ship, and it's always good to hear other perspectives as well. Additionally, if there was anything I said that was incorrect or I had some wrong numbers, just let me know. Or if you see something that you think I can do to improve and make better videos in the future, I would love to hear it, and I always appreciate the criticism. Well, that's going to be it for me for now. I do try and stream once in a while on Twitch as I have time. Having 2 little kids keeps me fairly limited, but I still try. I would love to see some of you over there. I also have a Discord that you are more than welcome to join. It's a little quiet, although I do try and post some stuff in there once in a while to help out, even with things like CCU training. I'll post the info for all of this down in the description. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day or night, wherever you are or whatever time you're watching this, and I will catch you in the verse.